Okay, hello, good day. So, in this topic, we will tackle about application integration, no, with using Java RMI or remote method invocation. So, paano ba nag-uusap yung dalawang application, even with respect with the cloud environment, no, na setup. So, especially on Windows applications, no, like Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word. So, paano ba nila ginagather yung data, how it become connected to your laptop or to some other kung ano, yung mga devices na ginagamit mo. So they will somehow kung ano, talk, and then na nakikipag-collaborate yung ibang applications ng mga Windows application sa ibang Windows application. So paano nila ginagawa yan? So they might be using the COM, no, uh, but we can kung ano, implement um, such distributed technology, given the resources, no, that we have. So the perfect technology that we could implement, no, for to make our system distributed. So we will use RMI because yun yung naka-install sa especially sa ating mga lab. So mas madali din gamitin si RMI, no, para lang mas maintindihan natin yung concept ng distributed technology. So paano ba ini-integrate natin yung mga applications? So looking on my simple diagram, no, to describe to simply describe uh, this setting or this environment is we have two programs, no. How can we make our different programs talk to each other or share a resource or share data? So this is done by remote, no, by remoting things from um, a specific system to another system. So basically, the idea here is that client in the RMI environment, no, in my simple diagram. So basically, we will remote, no, we will remote objects from coming from the server. So the server's job is to make those objects, no, available using a registry, discoverable via network. So yeah, I will show you kung ano. I will show you a code snippet, no, just to describe these things in an easier manner, no, for you to understand. So in Java we have the RMI. This is for application integration. So luckily built in na yung RMI feature ni Java kay Java, so we can use RMI, no. So alam nyo naman yung based on my previous discussion, alam nyo naman yung ginagawa ni RMI. So remote method invocation. So we can remote invoke methods from other distributed systems. So in this case we'll be having in this particular scenario, no, but during my actual demonstration of the code, I will only be using one machine, but just to appreciate the manner of distributed object with the help of RMI. So ginawa kong dalawa dito sa aking diagram. So computer 1 and the computer 2. So of course with the help of network, in-network talaga natin yung dalawang machine, no, para somehow in the future, no, makapag-share sila ng resource. So we will start talking about the server end, no. So server will be having our Java program. So basically si Java program, no, siya yung magti-treat nung computer 2 as a server. So we will save our file or class, we will save our class, no, in a file and name it as server.java. So basically what it does basically is instantiating or making an instance, making instances of a couple of objects. In this example, we will be having a laptop, mobile phone, charger. This is not bike, no. I believe I had updated my code. So I believe it's power bank. So I updated this bike, not bike, but instead power bank. So after, no, we successfully created or instantiated a couple of instances, no, for our server program, we will then export this, no, using a feature of RMI. We will export these objects into the RMI registry rather. So with the help of RMI, it will help us export these objects that we have created on the RMI registry. Why do we have to put these objects on the RMI? So that it will be discoverable by other RMI, no, RMI technology on different machine. So this is how things works on distributed technologies, no, or for the application integration. Yeah. We can rename, no, our objects that we have created in the Java program. So we can rename this on the local registry. We can name the laptop as the L. We can name the mobile phone as a MP. So it depends upon your preference. Okay. So also for the client, given that we have networked the two devices, so in the client end, so basically we'll do somewhat similar on the server, no, program. So in Java in client, so we will also invoke, no, we'll be having an interface that will make up this somewhat proxy objects. Okay, so yeah, um, we will create a somewhat given that let's assume, no, that the developers of the client end knows, no, the number of the exact numbers of objects on the server. So in the client end, we will also um, make four four instances via reference. So I mean via interface. So in Java program, for the client, we will be having two different programs. We'll be having an interface and a client. So it interface are important, no, just to make out or uh, make a somewhat representation of the actual objects coming from the server. So after the registry, um, since objects are available, no, or can be um, discoverable in the registry. Actually, the RMI is just telling um, anything that would connect to the computer to. It's just telling that these objects are available using these special keywords of laptop, mobile phone, C, charger, or bike, or the I've updated this into a um, power bank, no? So RMI, no, make these things somewhat recognizable and tell other machines that these objects are available and applicable for see available for particular processes or applicable for particular processes. And then um, uh, what the register did, no, after these things becomes available is that whenever the other RMI, no, would get that registry, so it will be present, no, as stub here in the RMI. So somewhat what we call stub here is that the stub is somewhat a representation of the actual objects coming from this device, the computer 2. Okay, so in order for our client program or Java program in the client side, um, would see, no, we'll see the object reference of of the objects coming from the server, so it needs to invoke a method called lookup. So in order to match these objects, four objects, into the actual objects coming from the server. So there's a lookup feature, lookup a function. We'll invoke that after the get registry. So the objects, the object reference coming from the server should be available in the RMI using the get registry, and then we will connect we will connect our created reference to match on the reference coming from the RMI. So I will show you the equivalent program of this diagram. So here it is. So first, let's focus on the Java. I'll just zoom it out just for you to clearly see. So yeah, we have, of course, we'll have to import we'll have to import libraries of Java. We'll import RMI as library coming from Java, so we can see it in the top, and then we have our first class called the server, and then we will set the property of this particular class. We will set its property, so whenever we will compile this program, so can be discoverable using this local IP address. So 127.0.0.1. So this will be the host for our server, and then you will notice later on, if we will run this program, you will see that the server has you will see this printed text. A server has been started, so this is a good indication for you to see that your server program is successfully running. And then after we print this out, we will then the program created just like I've mentioned on the diagram. So first create our four objects. In this case, we have laptop, mobile phone, charger, and power bank. So notice here that upon creating the instance, we actually pass in default values. So I believe you all understand how the concept of constructor works on constructor, how the concept of constructor works on object-oriented programming, especially on the class na end. So paano ba nag-work si constructor? So I'll maybe could give you some or basic idea. Constructor is actually making or constructing the initial values of your object. So basically, kung titingnan natin si product, we open natin yung class product natin So if we open natin si class product, meron siyang mga variables. So basically, sino ba yung asan ba yung mga values, asan ba yung mga panimula ng mga values para sa mga variables na to. So basically, it would come from the server. So upon creating during the time when we create the object instance. By the time we create the object instance, we during the process of creating the object instance, we actually provide initial values. So saan na to mapupunta tong mga values na to? So ito yun dito sa constructor i-accept. So that's the nature of the constructor. It would assign initial values to your fields of that particular class prototype or class. Okay, so this is very important. You can actually do something else, but my preference is this. You can actually make other functions. You can remove this one and then uh, use a laptop that um, initialize something like this, and then put that value, and then you will make a function here, no? Initialize. You can do that. But as to this example, as to this demonstration, so this is you can just follow, no? And then yeah, for our first object we have a name. So observe here in the constructor, uh, our first parameter is new name, or the name, and then next is the description, and then the price. So yeah, just to clarify these things, no, these throw remote exceptions during the process when client invoke, no, invoke a certain method coming from here, this method or this constructor. If there is a particular error will occur, so may it be an error coming from the network, an error coming from a value that has been passed, so it will be handled, no, uh, it will be handled effectively because of these throw exceptions. So when an error, no, an exception would occur, it would be passed in this try catch, no, try catch na program. So this is very important. Whenever a particular error would occur in this part of code, so it will be catch it here. You will know, no, what would be the error that have occurred. Okay, so next is yeah, after we have successfully created, no, the object, so you can you can correct this one, no, laptop, mobile phone charger, or power bank. You can correct this here from the diagram. So actually the bike is the power bank, no, take note of that please. Okay, so yeah, next is we will use, no, the interface. So notice here that aside we've created actually, no, before we proceed, no, I will just highlight, no, my directory. So the directory, the folder is named RMI, and within the folder of RMI is we have another two subfolders. We have the client folder and the server folder. So for the client folder, we have several classes that have stored on different files, namely client, and then the product interface. Also, for the server, we have product, no, product interface, and the server na mga file. So yeah, back to the server. So of course, no, server uses, no, upon creating the objects, after creating the objects, no, it needs to use an interface. The interface is very important, not just to efficiently manage things coming from a remote processes. So say for instance you will trigger the P1, so RMI will just check first if that P1 is available before proceeding on calling the actual objects. The RMI would check first if, okay, you will call P1, who's the P1? So the P1 is, say for instance the P1 is the laptop, and then you will call, okay, P1 dot get course. The RMI would then check the interface if the get course function is available, but looking on the actual process, get course isn't available, no. This is so that is why interface is very important. Just to interface would act as the initial reference or guide of the RMI coming from a remote devices. So, yeah, that is very important. Interface. Parang titingnan mo ba, magre-remote ka, nag-open, just to give you a concise analogy, say nag-remote ka sa TV, just to give you a good analogy, para ma-distinguish nyo, ano ba yung, bakit may remote, bakit may interface, no? Sa remote, bakit kinahanglan na nag-i-interface? Okay, let's just uh, get the picture of you trying to open up your smart TV. So of course you will get a remote, no, a remote device. So obviously your remote device gives you a picture of what are the functionalities of your smart TV. By looking on the remote, you will see that it can be turned on, can be turned off, it can uh, it can move from one channel to another, you can increase the volume. How do you know that? It's because of the interface, no? It's because of the interface of the remote. So meaning, if we'll try to remote the objects coming from the server, we'll have to see it first in the client end. So kailangan din tayo merong interface dito. So that's very important. Interface are very important to not do things that are unnecessary during the process. Bakit ka mag-execute ng mga objects na nandito sa server kung initially na-check na ni RMI dito sa client na wala pala doon sa interface, hindi pala available yung function. Say gusto mong yung smart TV mo gusto mong mag-jump, wala naman doon sa remote mo na magja-jump siya, di ba? So that's the best thing to describe, no, the interface and the remote. Okay, so I hope you understand, no, well, and just a simple explanation. And then yeah, here we have the interface. So kung ano yung meron, no, actually if sa object oriented course nyo, hopefully na discuss na itong interface, but I could give you a quick overview of the interface. It might help you, no, along the way. So interface are just ko ano, yun yung idea, no, giving the full picture of your program, how your program works. It gives you initial idea of what the actual processes have of a particular device. So basically, okay, you will know, okay, product interface. So you will see that the product is capable of getting the name, getting the description, getting the price, and changing the product name. So these are available features, no. So if whatever classes that would implement such interface should provide specific functionalities of these prototypes. These are prototypes, no, methods. So basically we have get name, get description, get price. So obviously we have here in the server folder, we have a product.java, and product implements the product interface. Therefore all of the prototypes, or what should I call this, abstract na mga functions coming from the product interface, pagdating dito sa product, no, product na class, nag-implement siya ng product interface. Therefore all of the abstract functions coming from the product interface should be implemented. So meaning si product class, kasi nag-implement siya, no, parang somewhat the idea is nag-inherit si product sa product interface. Therefore all of the functions coming from the product interface should be provided an implementation dun sa product na end. So that's very important, no. So parang ganun ba, naglagay ka ng remote mo para sa yung smart TV, wala namang functionality doon, di ba? Very irrelevant, very ironic baga. Naglagay ka sa interface mo sa remote na meron siyang ano ba yun, say nagba-browse na, no? You can browse from a browser. You can browse things from a browser. So nalaman mo na merong feature yung smart TV mo kasi tumingin ka doon sa interface. Pero upon using it, wala naman pala. So very ironic. So uh, dapat kung ano ang yung kung meron kang abstract dito, make sure nga whatever classes that inherits that interface, so dapat gawan mo talaga siya ng implementation. And si Java, we do know na si Java is one of the object-oriented programming based na technology. Stricto siya. Marami namang other aside from Java, we have tons of technologies that is object-oriented, no, OOP based, no, na implementation na fina-follow. Pero in terms of following an OOP na concept, si Java is very strict. Dapat kung meron ka ditong abstract, kung sino yung class na nag-inherit sa kanya, dapat mag-provide ka talaga ng implementation. Nothing less, nothing more. So yun. So it's very important to na meron ka talagang interface. So sino ba yung class na gumamit ng interface? Si Java ba? Si server ba gumamit ng interface? Hindi. So yung gumamit ng interface is si product lang. Okay? Okay, si product. So after creating objects, this is valid now, no? We can call its we can tie those objects that have initially created to its interface, no, para ma-wrap up natin siya, ma-serve natin sa RMI registry using the export objects. Here, no, you can see it here. So RMI causes, no, these objects, no, to be exported from on the registry. Okay, so yeah, and then you assign a port, but initially si RMI registry yung nagde-determine kung ano bang applicable na port para doon. So lagyan mo na lang 0. Tapos meron ka na ditong another instances na naman using the reference. Pag na-export mo na siya, no, mag-iiwan ka ng reference for those objects served on the RMI na registry. So stub, we will name this stub is because this will be carried out on the client na end. So stub laptop, stub mobile phone, stub charger, stub power bank. And then before we proceed, no, registry will be created. So yun, registry, locate registry. So get that registry no 127.0.0.1, and then the port is 9100, no? And then registry that rebind. So after you exported the object, no, you will rebind those object references into its specific name. So this is very important kasi pag export natin doon, wala pa siyang special na name. So need natin i-rebind, no, lagyan ng special na name. Para sa stub laptop, it's laptop. Stub mobile phone, stub charger, stub power bank is power bank. So these things are very important, no, in order for the client to execute, no, to connect to a particular to connect to the objects that have created in the server end. Kailangan niyang gamitin to. Ito yung tatawagin niya, no? This will be the reference, and then this will print out, no, exporting binding of objects has been completed. Okay, so let's try this out. So let's try run our command prompt, and then locate the RMI a folder. I believe it's in desktop. So we have the RMI folder here. So let's cd, no, change directory to that particular folder. Yeah, then we are now at the RMI folder, and if we'll try to show what are the current folders with directly within that RMI directory is we have this client and server. So ano ba dapat yung i-execute natin first? So si server dapat, kasi yung client is magre-request na lang baga ng service coming from the server. So how do you request a service if the particular service isn't available? So we'll have to make first the service becomes we will have to make the servers first, no, available. Okay, so cd into the server folder, and then yeah, we'll try to see what are the files, no, coming from that directory. So before we start off running our server.java or server program, we'll have to run RMI first, because initially we imported, no, RMI library on our program, and if the RMI isn't available, so or RMI registry, no, in the later part of our server program is that we use a local registry. So how do we use this if the registry isn't available? So let's start the RMI registry. So how do we start the RMI registry? So just simply say start RMI registry, and then assign, no, a port. I believe it's port, yeah, 9100. Enter. So another terminal or console would pop out, so don't just close it. Maybe you could just minimize it, no, hide it temporarily. Just don't close it, no, because it indicates that your RMI is currently running. Okay, after successfully run your RMI registry, you can then start your server. So compile your server.java. So it's successful, and then Java, run your Java server, no, Java server. So yeah, notice here that this text has been printed out, so meaning our server program has run successfully. Okay, so export binding of objects has been completed. So now that our server is running, and notice here that it has no exit, no, afterward, so meaning Java is currently running, Java server is currently running. So yeah, before I proceed, no, running the client program, so I'll just have to explain it first, no, based on our diagram here, no. Okay, so for the client end, so since this we also use, no, Java RMI, so this is a separate program. You all know that, no, coming from this machine. So it has it obtains also different program. So for the client, this is a program of the client, no. First it locates, no, the registry. It gets the registry 127.0.0.1. So basically, since I am on this similar machine, so I would be using a local, no, local IP, something like that, a local host name. So and then I will be using similar registry, no, port, no, 9100, and then would get, no, the reference of the exported objects from the RMI registry. So for both for two machines, no, for two program execution, I would only use RMI registry, one RMI registry. So we don't have, in the client side, we don't have to start again the RMI. And then yeah, so we'll also try to create our stubs, no, using the interface. So basically in the client folder we also have we will have a reference, no, our interface also. So yeah, this will match no the interface coming from the server. This is also very important as we make initial object representation. So this will be our stub, no. So observe that in the server and no we provided no we bind those stub in this particular name. So in the client end, all it does is that it's just look if there are several objects named after the stub no available in the server. So P1 will be registered on the laptop no no object, P2 and then mobile phone respectively. Okay, so after uh, after these things mo become successful, then we will try to execute no the get name. So when we try to call this get name, obviously this the process is done in the server end. It's because the server obtains no this program implementation. Okay, so for the P1, who's the P1 here? Coming from the server, the P1 is the laptop, having a laptop name Lenovo, and then a price of 1740.91. So we will use the P1 instead of P2. Okay, so yeah, you can open again no another terminal for because we don't want not the server to be we don't want the server to shut down and prevent from executing processes or remote coming from the client. So we'll have to make the server running, and then for the client no we'll do the same thing, locate the directory coming from desktop, RMI, and then the client, enter, and then execute. We'll execute the client, Java client with Java. Okay, it's successful, and then we'll run client. So our product name is laptop and the price is 1740.91. So it's successful. You can update no you can update your server. So you can perform here in the server no control C no, just to stop your server from running, and we don't necessarily turn off our registry if you intend to update things from your server. Say you want to update the price of the Lenovo laptop. Let's say you want to make this 3 times no higher than the previous price. So you just have to repeat the process on the server. You just have to rerun, or I mean recompile, since you updated the program. So you'll have to recompile no the Java server Java program, a Java server program, and then run your server again, and then re-execute no your Java client. Don't recompilation in client isn't necessary because you didn't update any program from your Java. So all you have to do is just rerun your program, and you see the price has been updated. Okay, guys, if you have questions, just drop your questions on the forum no below to this video in the LMS. I will upload this video on the LMS no. Okay, I'll just check if there are any important things missing on the discussion. Okay. Okay, you can also improve no your object. You can just perform, you can make a system no just to explore what are the capabilities of this object. You can provide you can make other objects, and see if you can perform, you can and see if your other objects will be available on the registry and can be executed in the server, I mean in the client end. Okay, so maybe the exploration would happen during our classes, so maybe maybe on Thursday. So guys, see you. Thank you for watching.